Buenos días. Good morning. Bienvenidos a la Congregación Unitariana Universalista de Asheville. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Asheville. Soy la reverenda Claudia Jiménez y yo dirijo el desarrollo de la fe aquí en UU Asheville. I'm Reverend Claudia Jiménez and I'm the Minister of Faith Formation here in the congregation. Feligres o visitante, congregant or visitor. En el santuario o en la red línea, in the sanctuary or online, Queremos que sepan, we want you to know, que quien quiera que seas, whoever you are, de donde quiera que vengas, wherever you come from, a quien quiera que ames, whoever you love, estés donde estés en el viaje de explorar quién eres, wherever you are on the journey of exploring who you are, eres valiose y digne de amor. You are valuable and worthy of love. Eres bienvenida aquí. You are welcome here. And this morning we are grateful for the teamwork that makes this service possible. We have our worship associate, Shawn Gibson. We have our AV tech, Rob Fulson. And we have special guests, Friction Farm providing music, and Dr. Les at the piano. So now let us prepare for our centering music and to begin our worship.
Did you ever think that there'd be days like this? Standing at your front door, trying to get a grip on the way the world's been torn into bits. There doesn't seem to be a place where you still fit. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. You got friends all around you. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Let the light of love surround you. You stand still, just don't know what to do. Every move just sends you in an endless loop. You're wrong, no matter what you do. You didn't mean to break them, but someone changed the rules. But everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. You got friends all around you. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Let the light of love surround you. Now the wind may not be at your back today. Any minute now, the weather's gonna break. Like time and tide, we are built for change. Step outside, don't be afraid, 'cause everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. You got friends all around you. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Let the light of love surround you.
Thank Thank you, Friction Farm. Good morning, UU Asheville. Hi, I'm Shawn Gibson. I'm your worship associate for today. And we have Julie Allstel, who's going to come light our chalice this morning. Julie is one of our board members. Flame, friend of our most ancient ancestors, we kindle you now in this time. Yet in truth you burn always in the unique worth of each person, in the imagination, in the turning of the heart to sorrow or joy, in the call to hope and in the call to justice. Burn bright before us, burn bright within us.
Are going to sing together, and today we'll be singing Come, Come, Whoever You Are in English and in Spanish. So since it's been a while, we're going to review a little bit of the Spanish. Are you in? Okay, so the first line is Ven, ven, ¿cuál eres? Ven.
Ven, ven, ¿cuál eres? Ven.
Nómada en búsqueda.
Nómada en búsqueda.
Si amas la vida.
Si amas la vida.
La nuestra es la caravana de amor. Ven otra vez, ven.
Ven otra vez, ven.
Wonderful. So let us rise in body or spirit. We'll begin in English and end in Spanish. Wonderful. You may be seated. And I am going to be offering us a story this morning. And we have a lot of props, so I need some help just emptying this treasure box. Can somebody come and help me empty the treasure box? Or I can do it myself, it's all right. I don't want to, impose. Do you want to help empty it? There's a lot of stuff in there. And as our treasure box is emptied, I'll just share that this is a story from a book that's entitled, Does God Have a Big Toe? And it's stories about stories in the Bible. Okay, you could be the angel, that's fine. And it's written by Rabbi Mark Gellam, who wanted to explain some of these complicated Bible stories to his children. And guess what? They're a good way of explaining complicated Bible stories to adults also. So this story is from Genesis. And it begins like this. So we have all of our objects here, and you can help me bring those forward as I call them out, okay? So before there was anything, there was God, some angels. Where's our angel? Raise your hand, angel. Okay, there's our angel. A whole bunch of rocks. Where are the rocks? Okay, here are the rocks. A whole bunch of rocks. And there was some water. Where's the water? Anybody find the water? Okay, this is like the best way to show water these days. And so, the angel said to God, when the angel saw all these clumps of water and rocks swirling around, said to God, God, when are you going to clean up this mess? This is like really sloppy here. So God took some of the rocks from the swirling, you just have to imagine this swirling mass of water and rocks and all kinds of things. And he said, okay, some of these will be lakes, some of these will be oceans, some of these will be streams, and some of these will be just rocks. And then God took the water and said, oh, some of this will be the lake, the ocean, the streams, whatever. And here it was. And I think I said the rocks wrong. He said the rocks would be planets and stars, and some of them will be just rocks. So the angel says, okay, it looks neater, but is it finished? And what do you think God said? No. God said no, it's not. So God put some growing things on the rocks, and he put some crawling things, little mice, on the rocks. And there was a purple octopus somewhere. Where'd it go? Oh! And he got some slithering things and put them on the rocks.
Or he should have put them in the ocean.
Oh, thank you. He should have put them in the ocean, because this little guy's not going to survive on the rocks, is he? Thank you, angel. Okay, so he had everything taken care of, creepy things, crawly things, and other things that only God knows what they are. And then what did the angel say? It's neater, but is it finished? And what did God say?
Yes.
He actually said, no, not yet. And if anybody remembers the Genesis story, what did God create? He created some people, right? A man, a woman. He created some people. And he said to these people, you are going to be my partners. And they said, partners? What is a partner? Do you know what a partner is? What is a partner?
A partner is somebody who works with you.
Yes, a partner is somebody who works with you, because as we know, we can't do a lot of things that need to happen in the world by ourselves, right? So God needed partners. And not only that, but partners call each other in and they hold each other accountable. So if one partner is not doing their job, what does the other partner say?
Maybe Audra should.
What does the other partner say? Anybody? Get your act together, let's get this done, right? So they agreed that they were going to be partners. And those types of agreements in Unitarian Universalism are called what? Covenants. So here are some of these biblical covenants that influence our tradition. So they made this agreement, and what do you think the angel said? The angel asked God, God, is it finished? And what do you think God said?
No.
God said, I don't know. Ask my partners. And that's our time for all ages this morning. Thank you to our angel, and thank you to our children.
You still have to grow.
You still have to grow. And thank you to our children who corrected the story when the minister missed her cues. And so now, as we prepare for our faith formation here in the sanctuary, our children will be leaving for faith formation with the adults that are going to be working with them today. So if you are visiting, please go out with your children so you know who they are working with and where to pick them up when we're done. And it is our custom to sing our children out to their faith formation classes, so let us sing together as you go.
In the center of our service and in the center of our lives, let us pause and open our hearts as we join together in a time of embodied meditation, and then for a time in the peace that silence brings. I invite each of you to take a deep breath into this present moment, realizing that not everyone will have the function to enter into all of these movements, and grateful for the skills that we do have. We invite you, as you are willing and able, to participate in this interactive meditation. Spirit of love, God of many names, we enter into this time of centering and sensory reflection. Let us shake out our arms and our hands and rest them by our sides. Let us shake out our legs and feet and plant them on the floor. Let us stretch our heads high. Let us take a deep breath of thankfulness. Let us touch our eyes, happy to have the beauty of color, line, and shape. Let us imagine the beauty of the world, the flowers, the trees, the babes, the puppies, and all of the other things in which we delight. Let us touch our ears, because through them we hear glorious sounds, happy ones and sad ones, beautiful songs and lonely cries. Let us listen well so that we may live fully. Let us touch our lips, for through these lips we receive the food and drink that nourishes us, helps us grow, and we speak words that express our thoughts and feelings. Let us touch our hearts, for it is within our heart that we know and share love. Let us feel the world around us in our imagination. Let us experience the wind that cools us, the sun that warms us, and the rain that nourishes the earth and cleanses us all. The beauty of life is truly all around us. Let us softly say, each in our own way, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Goddess. Thank you, nature. Thank you, world. May we smile in your delight. And now let us share a moment of silence.
And now is the time in our gathering when we acknowledge the joys and the sorrows that we bring with us each morning and those of our beloveds who are not with us. It is our custom to add salt to the water to represent the grief and the sorrow that we hold in our hearts, and petals to represent the beauty, the celebration, the joy, and the delight that it coexists along with some of that sorrow and sadness that we may feel. So the invitation is to come forward and place a stone in this communal water to represent any joy or sorrow that you hold in your heart today. And if anyone would like for me to place a stone in the water for them, just raise your hand and I will gladly do that. And just remember to keep the traffic flowing as we come forward. Let us begin our ritual. We'll add a stone for all the joys unspoken and those of our community that is not gathered, and another for any sorrows that we still hold. If you put a stone in the water for a joy that you bring this morning, know that this community rejoices with you. And if you placed a stone in the water for any sorrow in your heart, know that this community holds you in love and care. Together or apart, we are one community held in love.
Our reading this morning comes from the Reverend Mark Morrison Reed. It's titled, "The Task of the Religious Community." The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and in the lives of each other. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our visions are too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength is too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength is renewed.
I will not fight today, I will not fight tomorrow. There are so many reasons to be kind. I will bring peace today, I will bring peace tomorrow. Share all the beauty that I find. No peleare hoy, no peleare mañana. Hay tantas razones de ser bondadoso. Traigo la paz hoy, traigo la paz mañana. Compartiré la belleza que encuentro. There were words, there was a shove. Hurtful is like playful without the love. There was laughter and there were smiles. So I held on to those for a while. I will not fight today, I will not fight tomorrow. There are so many reasons to be kind. I will bring peace today, I will bring peace tomorrow. Share all the beauty that I find. There are two sides, we disagree. You are on our side, they are your enemy. The distance between us was starting to spread. So I stood in the middle instead. No peleare hoy, no peleare mañana. Hay tantas razones de ser bondadoso. Traigo la paz hoy, traigo la paz mañana. Compartiré la belleza que encuentro. Between the bad words, there was just enough space for nice words to slip in and take their place. Between the two sides was a line in the sand. Desert flowers grew up and took the land. No peleare hoy, no peleare mañana. Hay tantas razones de ser bondadoso. Traigo la paz hoy, traigo la paz mañana. Compartiré la belleza que encuentro. I will not fight today, I will not fight tomorrow. There are so many reasons to be kind. I will bring peace today, I will bring peace tomorrow. Share all the beauty that I find.
Hay tantas razones para ser bondadoso. There are so many reasons to be kind. And yes, even when things don't look good, even when we are angry, hay tantas razones para ser bondadoso. And we see that here in this congregation. The title of my homily this morning is oUUr, spelled oUUr, our presence matters. And our presence matters on our campus because we provide those opportunities for spiritual deepening and community when times are challenging. Post-Helene, we managed to gather. We gathered outside. We supported each other. We cried together. And we're working on healing together as the recovery continues. Post-election, this sanctuary was full at Vespers. It was full after the election on Sunday morning. And again, it was a place to bring our anger, our frustration, our fear. And who knows, maybe for some it was celebration, right? Because that's real too. And we do not dehumanize those who celebrate. We disagree with them. Pero tenemos que ser bondadosos. But we have to be kind. We have to remember that love, when we say we are centered in love as Unitarian Universalists, it is a love that is not just for the people that think like us. And I don't know, at this moment, we're still healing what that love looks like beyond that, but it has to look like something, and we will figure that out. Another place where there was a lot of connection in this community was during the Thanksgiving potluck celebrated here last week in Sandberg Hall. It was organized by one of our members, Ellen Wells, and there was a team of people supporting, setting up tables, and there was just so much abundance. And we had to bring out extra tables because there were more people here than RSVP'd. But what a wonderful problem to have. People wanting to come together and be present to each other. So we are indeed deepening and strengthening our beloved community every time we come together, every time we pray, we meditate, we sing together, every time we learn together. But we are not just called to be in here with ourselves doing things together. That's part of it. But that should be preparing us to be out in the world, co-creating beloved community beyond our campus, living the mission of this congregation, which is stated on our website as we strive to be an open and welcoming congregation that connects hearts, challenges minds, and nurtures spirits, while serving and transforming our community and the world. And that last part, serving and transforming our community and the world, is the focus of my homily today. And so while it is important, as I said, that we gather in community, what is most important is how we live our values at home, at work, in school, and in the various communities that we are a part of. That is how we contribute to co-creating the beloved community beyond these walls. And as we continue to process the move toward autocracy and fascism in this country, guided by leaders that promote theocracy, that limit the rights of women, immigrants, LGBTQ folk, other marginalized communities, and that are content to ignore the incontrovertible evidence of environmental deterioration, we have to ask ourselves what our call will be and who our partners will be in resisting these injustices. what will living into our values look like? What will love look like? Who will the partners be? And what are our strengths and capabilities? Now, I know you can think about a lot of different ways in which you have been involved in this congregation and in the larger community, but I want to share a few of the things that I think are a strength of this congregation. And one of them is the oUUr program. Who knows what oUUr is? What does it stand for, Shawn?
It stands for Our Whole Lives.
Our Whole Lives, a kindergarten through adult sexuality education program that was developed by the Unitarian Universalist Association and the United Church of Christ. We offer all levels of oUUr for our children and youth, and our goal is to offer adult oUUr, although we were thwarted, a previous storm canceled the training that we were going to attend. So we're still hoping to train and offer it in the future. And at a time when our trans siblings and reproductive rights are under attack, a value-centered curriculum that counters misinformation about healthy sexuality and sexual identity and expression is not only needed for our community, but also the larger community. The values that oUUr promotes are needed in the world today. And listen to those values: self-worth, recognition and promotion of self-worth. Every person is entitled to the presumption of dignity and self-worth as a sexual being. Sexual health, promotion of sexual health matters. Knowledge and about sexuality is helpful, not harmful. Everyone should have access to medically accurate information about sexuality and healthy sexual relationships. And third, responsibility. Acceptance of our responsibility to express our sexuality in ways that enhance human wholeness without coercion. And finally, justice and inclusivity. We embrace and advocate for justice and inclusivity in terms of sexuality. Our values teach us to be aware and avoid deceptions based on traditional attitudes towards sexuality, as our society is challenged to accept evolving awareness of the diversity of healthy human sexuality. We affirm that sexual relationships should never be coercive or exploitative, and that humans have different experiences of gender identity, as well as being romantically and or sexually attracted to others within the spectrum of human sexual experience. And the reason why I am a oUUr, my conversion story, if you will, is because of my exposure to oUUr. When I learned about oUUr, when I became an oUUr facilitator, I knew that Unitarian Universalism was going to be my faith tradition. Because I grew up in a faith where sexuality was taboo and seen very negatively. And I know that I didn't want that for my students. I was a middle school teacher, and in my school in Florida, they didn't even talk about the reproductive systems when we did the body systems. That was just not talked about. And sexuality was abstinence only. It was taught only in a very negative way and only about disease. So being exposed to that and having children of my own, I knew that a faith that was willing to speak up and see sexuality education as a moral value was the faith that I wanted to raise my children in. and both of our daughters participated in oUUr. They are now young adults, and one of them actually teaches oUUr in her congregation in Washington, D.C., and I'm really proud of her. She's getting ready to start teaching it again at her congregation. So I wonder, what would it be like in these times if we figured out how to make oUUr a ministry that goes beyond these walls? Because what oUUr has to offer is desperately needed to counteract so much misinformation about human sexuality. So, beloveds, that's one way, one lens of realizing how much our presence matters, because it is making a difference for our children and families, but we want to expand it beyond us, because so many other children and families and community members could benefit from embracing that information about healthy sexuality. Another of our strengths at UU Asheville, and I know that you could think of others, but I only chose a couple because I only have so much time. The other one I chose was our faith formation program for children and youth. And I think those of you who know me know that that's one of the reasons why I accepted the invitation to come and work at this congregation, because my dream was to serve a congregation that really invests in nurturing children and youth on their spiritual journey. And we have amazing programs. Not only do we teach oUUr, we have a wonderful coming of age program. We incorporate ritual, spiritual deepening, and community building into what we do. And all of this is made possible by our religious educators, Kim Collins and Jen Johnson, and the many adults who give their time on Sunday morning to make it happen. And we are also exploring how to deepen our ministries to families, because we know that in the same way that parents are the primary sexuality educators of their children, they are also the primary religious educators for their children. And so it is important to work and support our parents so that they can not only work with their children, but they can be part of a larger intergenerational community. And it is heartwarming to see many children, regular and newcomers, join us on Sunday morning. Our program is growing at a time when engagement in religious communities is declining. A recent article in the UU World, which is our Unitarian Universalist Association magazine, reported that UU membership is steady while attendance by children and youth in faith formation classes is growing, up to 16% over the past year, the first increase in a decade. Now, we have to be honest, or not that we're being dishonest, but we also have to keep perspective that there are families that are still coming back from COVID, so that contributes to that increase. But overall, 16% is not bad. And I think we can expect this trend to continue as the political climate makes our work more and more relevant and necessary. Our presence matters, beloveds, and it matters to families, it matters to children and youth, and it matters to adults who are committed to accompanying them on their journey of faith formation. A faith that is not dogmatic, but one that is pluralistic, and we're seeing such a pushback against pluralism in this country as theocracy emerges. So a pluralistic faith is a faith for our times. A faith that is welcoming and justice-oriented is a faith that is needed today. It is by no means perfect. We are by no means perfect, but we have values that we aspire to and possibilities that we offer that some other faiths that are dogmatic are pushing people away from. And so I wonder, how can we be more intentional about sharing the healthy and affirming values of Unitarian Universalism, especially those of our children and youth faith formation programs? Because those of you who have knowledge of some of the history of our faith, you know that we do not proselytize, right? Because that is something that we moved away from in terms of our past, when we embraced a lot of the Christian stories. Even though it was very progressive, we were still in that box. And we moved away from proselytizing, but boy, there is good news to share. And how do we do that in ways that are respectful and welcoming? And we got a great shout out. I don't know how many of you read Perry Bacon Jr. in the Washington Post, and I know some of us have issues with the Washington Post, but hear me out. He wrote an article providing 5 alternatives to doom scrolling post-election. And in the face of rising intolerance and aggressive nationalism, he suggested that the religiously unaffiliated join a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Our presence matters. When he started attending the oUUr congregation in Louisville, Kentucky, he did find it a little more political than he was used to, and very ideologically homogeneous. However, this is what he wrote. Before the election, church members engaged in politics in a practical way, encouraging congregants to go canvassing in opposition to a proposed constitutional amendment in Kentucky to create a school vouchers program. Unfortunately, it failed, but they did the work. So at least on Sundays, he writes, I was in a community of people working on a concrete, discrete local issue as opposed to nervously speculating about poll numbers. Post-election, I was relieved to be in a space where we openly discussed shared values and ideals we felt had been rejected by America in the election, such as support of immigrants and LGBTQ+ people. That is why he recommends going to a oUUr church, because they do talk openly about these values, and we can talk about how the election will be affecting our communities. And we know that we need to figure out how to organize and work together beyond these walls to support as we are needed. Now, we can't do everything. We are not going to fix anything by ourselves, right? We will take the lead of our partners, because indeed our prophetic voice calling out for justice will be needed these next 4 years. And I know this is a time for grieving and healing post-hurricane and post-election trauma, but soon it will be time to summon our strength, find our path forward, and engage our abilities to strengthen our community and our partnerships, so that when actions that oppose our values and threaten any of us, and especially our marginalized siblings, we respond with a voice that resounds in our community. We have some partners that we have been cultivating during this time. We've been working with the oUUr Justice Ministry of North Carolina. We've been partnering with Beloved. We were part of the founders of the Interfaith Voter Action that we hope will morph into the Interfaith Action Network. We also are part of Faith Communities Engaging for Sanctuary, which is reviving and starting again to call congregations together to start preparing for what might happen with our immigrant siblings. So we do have partners that we can be working with, and there are probably more partners that we do not know of that some of you have been partnering with. So there will be that call to action. And we will have to speak up for those values and walk the talk of the values that we say we hold as Unitarian Universalist. And I am careful to remind us that we're still healing, right? We're still in this space of let us try to ground ourselves, be with our people, figure out our partners. We are not in a rush right now to act, but we need to do that work and be ready, because we are going to be called to figure out what our gifts are in this, what our capabilities are in this, and how we can work for good given the reality of the election results. So in closing, I share this question from the Side with Love campaign. What is love calling us to do? What is love calling us to do as part of this Unitarian Universalist community? If our presence matters, what is our commitment to co-creating a world where all may flourish? May we allow time to recover and heal, and then engage our time, talent, resources, and presence so that our non-creedal covenantal faith can contribute to the collective liberation we aspire to. May we live into our mission to be an open and welcoming congregation that connects hearts, challenges minds, and nurtures spirits while serving and transforming our community and the world. Beloveds, our presence matters, and your engagement makes it so. May we leave this space knowing that we will be called to do hard work, but look around this room. We have each other, and we have our partners, and we will survive this. May it be so. Sing. And now we are going to sing again. And we will be singing in English and Spanish, and this is a favorite hymn. Dejar brillar nuestra luz, let our light shine. So this one is easy because it's just two reviews. Mi pequeñita luz, la dejaré brillar. Brillará, brillará, brillará. Let us rise in body and spirit and sing together. You may clap and move if you so desire. Oh, and there's another one. Okay, I knew it was too easy. Andando por doquier, la dejaré brillar. Brillará, brillará, brillará. Are we ready? Okay, thanks, Rob.
We are now going into the time of our service where we talk about the work of our congregation, the cool and exciting things that are going on. So if we start out by asking our visitors if they would like to stand and introduce themselves. There's no pressure in doing this, but we'd love to see you so that we can get to know you better after coffee hour. John is going around with a microphone, so if you'd like to stand. Oh, Sally as well.
Well, I don't know how brave I feel, but my name's Deanna. I'm actually a member of the Friends group here in town, but I wanted to see what you guys were doing, so.
Oh, nice. Welcome.
So we should partner.
Welcome. Anyone else?
Shall we listen up? Yep, sure. Hi, yes, hi. Glad to be here. My name's Buffalo. Feeling very welcome and grateful, and here with my wife,
Julia.
Julia.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks. And we're local, and these are our parents who are also visiting. Well, my parents, his in-laws, from Stanton, Virginia. You want to introduce yourself?
Ah.
I'm Janet Ani. I serve the Harrisonburg Unitarian Universalist Church. Retired. I remember Claudia from the Vero Beach days in Florida. And this is my husband, Nelson Hay.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Any others? One here.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Cummings. This is my second time here. I'm Joanne Fox's girlfriend, thank you for welcoming me again. I'm living in Jamestown, Rhode Island, so it's nice to be back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome. Nice to have you. All right. So if anyone stood and introduce themselves, please welcome them afterwards at coffee hour. Also remember to look for our visitor tags if they have them. And also, where's Trevor? We have Trevor. There's Trevor. Trevor is our member coordinator and connections coordinator. If you have any questions about our congregation or about how you'd like to get involved as a friend or member, see Trevor. Let's see. Our announcements always run as slides at the beginning of our service. If you miss them, we ask that you refer to the weekly e-news, as everything is described there. If you don't receive our e-news, you may email us at information@uuashville.org, and we'll get you signed up. This morning, we also have a special announcement from our board member, Julie Alstel.
Bienvenidos, mis amigos.
Bienvenidos.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Julie Alchel, and I'm here to tell you about this wonderful project called The Giving Tree. But first, let's have a story. When my husband and I got married, we decided we would create our own vows and have an excerpt from a book. My husband chose The Giving Tree. It's a children's book by Shel Silverstein. The story is about a tree and a little boy. As the boy grew, the tree adjusted to the needs of the boy. This made me think that this place, this blessed place where we are, is like the giving tree in the story. It provides nourishment to our spirits, a place to gather in joy and sorrow, a place for us to enjoy each other. And it serves as a beacon of hope for others. However, our beautiful tree is in trouble for next year. Unless we provide a more balanced budget for next year, branches may need to be trimmed, like cutting services of all those beautiful things that Claudia just mentioned. Maybe limbs cut off, like cutting staff or even staff hours. We will be decorating our giving tree December 4th at Vesper with stars that reflect the needs and hopes of this congregation. It will be available to view on each Sunday until the end of the year. The stars will have numbers, and each number will reflect a monetary amount. However, the gold stars are like, ay caramba, muchachos. What are we thinking? These are high-end numbers. However, We only ask for you to give what you can. And when you approach the tree, reach for a star, make a wish for the world, and donate what you can so that our congregation can provide for that wish to come true for our congregation and ourselves, so that our giving tree can keep on living and perhaps even grow. Muchas gracias.
May it be so, for sure. All right. Our community plate recipient this month is the Ministerial Discretionary Fund. This year more than ever, beloveds in our oUUr Asheville community need our care and support. Every year in December, we make a list and check it twice to try and lend a hand to some of our members who are struggling. Your donations to the Ministerial Discretionary Fund in December help us make the holidays a little merrier for folks who have had a hard year. Our offering this morning will be split with our partner unless you intend your gift to be applied to your pledge, in which case, please use the envelopes in the pew in front of you, and you can also donate online. The work and ministries of this congregation are entirely supported by the generosity of our members and our friends. We celebrate your generosity each Sunday with music and thanks. You make us possible, and we give thanks for you. Our offering will now be gratefully collected.
The music is great. Change the beginning of the story.
Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright.
I got a new pair of pants with no holes in the pockets. I got a few coins in there and I like the way they sound. Every song sounds better when everybody sings along. Gonna spread those coins around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Like a magic trick, those coins find hands that need. It takes so little to stand on solid ground. A little bit of independence brings so much peace of mind. Gonna spread that joy around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest days seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Spread a little sunshine, make the future bright. Spread a little sunshine, make the future bright.
Thank you for your gifts of your presence, time, wisdom, and your resources, and your music. We are grateful.
I am not mighty like a locomotive. My arms are strong, but they can't hold back the tide. But if I raise my hand and you raise your hand, Together we will be counted like we matter in this land. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand. I am not louder than the rolling thunder. I may speak, but I can't drown out the crowd. But if I raise my voice and you raise your voice, together we will be heard. We will sing above the noise. Raise your voice, sister. Raise your voice, sister. Raise your voice. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand. You're always welcome to sing with us, you know. I am not Superman, I have no superpower. I have a strong heart, love enough to share. And if I raise my child and you raise your child, in a single generation we set our differences aside. Raise your child, sister. Raise your child, sister. Raise your child. Raise your voice. Raise your voice, sister. Raise your voice, sister. Raise your voice. Raise your hand. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand. Last chance to sing. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand, sister. Raise your hand. Thank you. Our closing words this morning: No temas la agitación. Do not fear agitation, by Reverend Tania Márquez. No temas la agitación, puesto que es el ritmo de la vida misma, ser puesto en movimiento, incitarte. Do not fear agitation, for agitation is the rhythm of life itself, to be put into motion, to be stirred. No temas los movimientos que descentran lo que creías permanente. Llevas dentro el centro de tu entendimiento, la brújula que te muestra el camino. Do not fear the movements that decenter what you always thought permanent. You carry within the center of your understanding the compass to show you the way. Lleva contigo el amor que te sostendrá, la visión que te guiará, las relaciones con todos los seres y el mundo que te pondrán los pies sobre la tierra. Carry with you the love that will hold you, the vision that will guide you, the relationships to all beings and the world that will ground you. Ve en paz, con suave agitación. Mueve a este mundo
hacia el lado del amor. Go in peace and in gentle agitation to stir this world to the side of love. May it be so. And now, let us bless each other with the song Longtime Son. Please rise in body or spirit. Go in peace. Vayan en paz.